Hey guys, thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. I'll talk about altcoins, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So thanks again for being here. Market's taken a little bit of a pop. Could see more in the future. I've got a couple of news stories that are going to cover that. We got a little bit more about the unfair treatment that Bitcoin gets in the press, which leads to unfair regulations. I talked last week about the IMF in dealing with El Salvador, but within that article there was a little blurb about how the IMF was proposing taxes on crypto miners based on their energy use. And then we compared that to all of the passes that AI gets when it comes to not being environmentally green, right? AI requires massive amounts of electricity, but no one accuses AI of being not green, right? And they're even thinking of reviving the nuclear industry to accommodate the power needs of AI. So once again, we'll touch a little bit on that. I've done several videos this week. I'll point them out. So we got a kind of a lot to talk about. I got my Tangem ring from the good people over at Tangem. So I did a little setup video on the Tangem ring. We can play around with that a little bit. I'll show it to you. Although I should say, although this is like the coolest thing ever, I was not able to authorize any transactions using the ring while it was on my finger. I heard a while back that you needed to take it off your finger in order to authorize the transactions. So, but that's not really a deal breaker. But it would be cool if you could do that, kind of like the wave your hand thing. But we'll play around with the ring tonight. I've got some stuff about crypto wallets. But let's jump into the little greeting window. I want to thank everyone that joined me tonight. I appreciate all of you guys being here every week. It really helps to raise my spirits. Kenny was here early. Thank you for being here, Kenny. Andreas was here early. Andreas, maybe we can play around a little bit with Brave. Although when I first set up Brave browser many years back, it wasn't very seamless, and I was kind of perturbed that I had to use Uphold to get my Brave earnings. I'm not sure what you're doing to earn Brave rewards. Maybe just using the browser, or I don't know if you have any people that you've got enabled in there. But I was actually signed up to be one of their influencers, and I still get some BAT token because of that occasionally. But that's kind of baked in now. I don't even have it set up in my browser. I think I told you guys last week or so ago, I did a complete overhaul of my rig and I reinstalled everything. I wiped both of my hard drives clean. I reinstalled Windows clean. I restored all my documents to my secondary drive. And I haven't even set up my Brave browser to connect to my BAT wallet. So we might be able to play around with that a little bit. But thank you for your question. Sorry I didn't have a straight answer for you. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia is here again. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Miski is here again. Wayne is here. I don't have a current affiliate link or code link for Coinly. I'm kind of surprised because it wasn't that long ago that they paid out some affiliate earnings for me, but it's been several months now. I think maybe they were getting tired of me bugging them for affiliate payouts because it was like, I think it had been like 3 years since I posted the video, but people were still signing up through my link, and they were like, this dude hasn't done anything for 3 years, and we still owe him money. So maybe they pulled the plug on me. I don't know. But it is kind of funny that I've done like 3 or 4 different videos on tax crypto software, and every tax season, crypto users watch my videos and click my links, and a little bit of earnings come in on those. So yeah, I appreciate it. Maybe I can check with them to see. Hands Hannah 350 here again. Dusted in Shadow, always a pleasure. Thank you for gifting out memberships. That's always nice of you. Knock Bomb, good to have you from Sydney, Australia. Emmanuel is here again. Simona Mullen, back again, I see. Thank you for being here again. Christopher Thane, always a pleasure. E. Poston from Colorado. Another man's point of view. Ampov, good to have you. Christian C. Perkins, thank you for joining live tonight. It's good to have you. Bobby is here. Let's see. R. Cree here. What are your thoughts on Sui, which is a validator? Would you choose on Trust Wallet? I don't really like to recommend particular validators. It's kind of a black art. I really don't know that much about the various validators when you're staking. And to be perfectly honest, I have not staked my SUI token, so I can't really give you expert advice on that. But I appreciate the question. Crypto Sun is here. I like that icon. Girio84. Boy, there's a lot of people here tonight. Dan is here tonight. Good to have you. Dusted in Shadow. Fizon King and Joseph, thank you so much for your generous donation. If you guys have never been here before, we've got a lot of good stuff in the description down below. If you can't see all of this, hit show more below your video window, and the entire I hope I didn't mute the mic. The entire description will show for you. So we're going to talk about the market a little bit. I didn't really get to this "is this a scam" thing last week, so I left it here. Hopefully I'll touch on that briefly. Doggone. Oh, yeah, here, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to talk about replacing your devices. I think that's important. I think I talked about that a little last week, too. Rabby Wallet has said that they now support clear signing on Ledger, so I want to play around with that a little bit. We'll transfer some crypto. Yeah, replace your old devices. Tangem Ring. I did a video on Tangem Ring, as I mentioned. Let's see. We got the Tangem Ring video that I did this week. I did a video on doing a restore using stacks. I did a video on whether you should worry whether your hardware wallet is made in China or not, which we talked about on the live stream last week. A lot of times, and I'll record my live stream. A lot of times I'll record the stream, and if I get on a rant or a roll, I'll use that footage in a standalone video, because not everybody sits in on Saturday night at 6 and watches me for an hour or hour and a half. A lot of people just need a little nugget. So there's some good stuff on my live stream that I like to throw up as a standalone video. And then, let's see, I did this one. We talked about this last week, about how they're reviving nuclear power to support AI, but banging on Bitcoin because it's not green. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Let's jump into the news. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get too off topic, we've got the Tangem Ring affiliate link here. If you want to get yourself a Tangem Ring, use CryptoDad, all uppercase, for a 10% discount on any Tangem product. And Ledger is running a special now. I've got links here for all of these. Actually, the Stacks does not have any Bitcoin. But if you buy a Ledger Flex, you'll get $50 worth of Bitcoin. That's a little claim card that they'll send you along with your product that will allow you to go claim $50 worth of Bitcoin. $50 worth of Bitcoin is the most they've ever given. They traditionally will give either a $30 or $20 Bitcoin claim card. But now they're offering $50 back on a flex, which really helps to defray the cost of that item. So, and you've only got a couple of these promos like are so thin on the time frame, from the 8th to the 14th, not even a week. So now you've only got a couple days left. If you're in the market for a Ledger device, whether it's the Ledger Nano S Plus, which is their cheapest device, but still a very good, secure hardware wallet, all the way up from the Ledger Nano X to the Ledger Flex, you can get some free Bitcoin to defray the cost of that item for you. A bunch of other affiliate links and the news stories. So we got through that at 6:11. Let's jump in. Bitcoin takes another shot at 63.5K. Where are we now? 63,198 dollars, a little below there, but has to do with China's highly anticipated physical stimulus announcement, which occurred today. It's very rare that we get like financial data on the weekend, but this is China, they're overseas and all that. So apparently they made some kind of announcement tonight, and it wasn't as exciting as expected. So the narrative here, or the assumption here, is that if this had been like groundbreaking announcement, everyone would have like dove into Chinese equities, and money would have flowed out of crypto, which is kind of a stretch. But hey, that's what they're saying. Now, maybe in Asia that would have been more of a factor, right? A lot of people in China and in Asia in general invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. A lot of activity going on in the nighttime, our time in the U.S., a lot of trading going on in China. Sometimes after 6 or 7 p.m. in our evening, we'll see the market take off, and that's usually trading in Asia. But with the stimulus announcement, there was an expectation that people in Asia were going to jump back into the Chinese market, but apparently not so much as they thought. So that's the narrative. And then I've got another article here that could see Bitcoin breaking its 65K hurdle as a metric, which would show Bitcoin about to rip. We were at 66 a couple weeks back, and then we had some geopolitical tensions over in the Middle East. Israel was bombarded with ballistic missiles from Iran. Everybody was on edge. And as far as I know, Israel has not retaliated in kind, right? I've heard rumors that they may have been doing some cyber attacks on Iran, but they haven't launched any airstrikes as far as I know, and it's been a bit, right? So the tensions have cooled down. Sorry to get into politics too. I read too much news. Since that geopolitical scare, we had a pullback in the market, and now the crypto market has been slowly and cautiously edging its way back up again. Hopefully we won't have any more geopolitical scares, and this will truly become October. Right? Good stuff. I wanted to touch a little bit on crypto legislation. As you might remember, they were able to pass some bipartisan legislation to repeal the SEC's SIB 121 guidelines earlier this year. It had Republican and Democratic support, and I believe it was vetoed by Biden, or it didn't pass the Senate. I can't remember which one it was. But this bipartisan coalition that is trying to move crypto forward is somewhat fragile. There was a little forum that some senators or some congressmen held talking about this crypto legislation and whether it's going to move forward in the near future. We'll see. But there are wheels turning in Congress, right? A lot of the people in Congress, and I don't want to bash Congress just for, being weighted towards the elderly, but that's a fact. I don't know what the percentages are, but even if we look at straight percentages based on age, the people with the most power in Congress are, of course, the entrenched guys that have been there for many years, like Schumer, I can't remember everybody's name right now, Lindsey Graham. I'm trying to think of the guy from Kentucky, the really old guy. But these are the guys that are the gatekeepers. They make the decision whether legislation will go forward. I mean, if they decide something should be dealt with, most of the people will kind of follow along. So yeah, it's the older people in Congress don't really know that much about crypto, don't really care about crypto, are pretty much bought and paid for by the financial elite anyway. So yeah, it's the younger people in Congress that are really going to do some changes. So we'll see what happens, right? And they definitely don't want it going to state by state. They're calling this death by 50 cuts. They want sane crypto legislation to be done at a national level. And then we're going to touch a little bit on this. Now, this is kind of a, I hate to get on my soapbox about research and academic research and academic studies and academic journals, right? Medical journals, academic journals. It was several years ago when someone who was the editor for the a big journal, a medical journal, said that that it's not really what's the word I'm looking for? It was pretty much a captured industry. In order to get anything published, you really it's the big companies that are funding the studies that get published, right? Money is really involved as to, so we hear, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off topic, but you hear these narratives where they'll say, oh, this study proved X, this study proved Y. And a lot of times it's just a pre-planned narrative that gets proven by a study that is sponsored by, let's just say, food, right? The sugar industry sponsors a study that says, hey, sugar's okay, it's fat that's really bad for you. And then that study gets published because, they're the ones donating all the money to these journals. The studies that say sugar is bad for you don't bubble up to the top. It's that sort of thing. So we're getting a lot of that when it comes to crypto as well. Crypto is not well liked. And so there's a lot of studies that may or may not be that good. And then they draw conclusions. And then policy is made based on these shabby academic studies that get published, right? I really went off topic there for a little while about studies and, but the whole idea of scientific consensus is changed a lot in today's society. It's really, the big boys fund it, and then science backs them up. That's kind of where we're at. Anybody that's been around for the last 3 or 4 years knows this, right? Hint, hint. A lot of misinformation, and then this word misinformation gets thrown around most of the time when, politicians talk about misinformation. They're talking about things they don't like, right? It's misinformation if I don't like what you're saying, right? But yeah, this term misinformation gets thrown around a lot. But in this article, it's more about, hey, this is a flawed academic study on Bitcoin. And so now governments are making policies that want to harm, create harmful regulations that make it difficult to mine Bitcoin. They're also talking about issues of programmers that are programming privacy coins and those sorts of things, also making it difficult on them. right? So yeah, we talked about the double standard for energy consumption last week, and now we're looking a little at academic papers being written that are sponsored by Bitcoin's people that are against Bitcoin, and so they come out hurting Bitcoin in the long run, right? So we need honest evaluations. We need the honest evaluations to get published, and we need regulations based on objective academic studies on Bitcoin, not just on, hey, Bitcoin uses too much electricity, which is a ridiculous argument, right? Okay, so there are a lot of good stuff I wanted to do tonight. Yeah, I'll try not to get into too much conspiracy theory. Let's get into what did I want to talk about? Let's say, okay, let's do this as a scam. Okay, I think I had mentioned this last week. I go on Reddit quite a bit, and I look. I'm in the Reddit group for the Ledger. Let me see if I can get into Reddit. Is this the right one? Let's see. Am I logged in here? Oh, I do. I want to log in this way. Is that going to let me in? Oh, okay. All right, good. All right, and I am in the Ledger Wallet group quite a bit, and I get email alerts for this. You are going to see someone asking, "Is this a scam?" almost once a week, if not more. Yeah. So of course I can't find one right now. But you're seeing, I get this a lot. Is this a scam? And they'll post an phishing email or something like that. And it's like, dude, if you have to ask, it probably is, right? If you're asking, is this a scam? It most likely is. And here's my take on this whole scam stuff. If I get a text or an email, or an IM or any kind of message related to my hardware wallet, I am just going to assume it's a scam and not reply to it. So, I mean, no one really needs to be asking, hey, is this a scam? I just got a phone call from Ledger tech support telling me that my wallet is at risk and needs to be secured. I mean, come on, dude. Ledger will never call you. Coinbase will never call you. Is this a scam is really just an answer in and of itself. If you think it's a scam, treat it as a scam. I think I mentioned, Dan thought it was kind of funny that I said, if the IRS calls me and I think it's a scam, like somebody pretending to be IRS, and I hang up on them, they'll send me a letter, or they'll come knocking on my door if it's real, right? So, better to just treat everything as a scam than to fall for a scam. You think it's Ledger support, or you think, it's Coinbase support. Guys, please, do not give out your password or your seed phrase to anybody for any reason, even if the president calls you, and tells you it's a matter of national emergency. Don't buy it, right? Don't give out your seed phrase to anybody over the phone or in a web browser, especially. That's another trick they use. They'll say, hey, your wallet's in jeopardy. They'll try to scare you. They'll say, I'm going to send you a link. Click that link. Log in to your Coinbase or your Ledger account or whatever. They lie to you. And then you think you're on an official Ledger page or an official Coinbase page, and then at some point they'll say, enter your seed phrase. Don't do it. They never need that. That is purely a scam. So please don't fall for any of that stuff, right? Oh, I think I hear Kitty jingling around back there. We'll see what happens here. So let's see. I wanted to check out Rabby here. But before I do, I've got some US Tether in my Tangent wallet. And maybe we can move some Bitcoin too. So let's start. Let's see. Let's start with Kraken. Let's log into my Kraken account. Let's see. I'm gonna need. Okay. See, this is my password manager, and then I have two factors. In fact, I could show you this if it works. Let's see if it works. My Ledger stacks will work as a Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Sorry. Dang, even this mic. And I didn't notice the giant red X pointing at my face telling me. So I appreciate that. I'm glad I looked it off. I'm glad I looked down. All right, so let's look for that key. There it is, security key. Let's hit install. Appreciate you telling me about the sound, guys. I got it. I know it takes like 10 seconds to get caught up. All right, so we're getting the security key installed. I've used it before. So my question is, if it was deleted and re-added, is it still going to work? So let's do that again. I'll try not to mute the mic this time. Here's my security key. I'm going to get in there. All right, and now I need to go back over here. I know we're going back and forth a little bit. I didn't manage to mute it that time. So I'm going to say use passkey. Now I have to go through this a little bit. I have to say security key and next, and then touch my security key. All right, let's see if this works. If I can do this without. Okay, yeah, there it is. Kraken.com, crypto.com, CryptoDad at Gmail. Hit login, and lo and behold, it worked. It worked. All right, so you can, if you set up a security key on your Ledger Flex or Stacks, and you establish it for one of your logins, and then you delete the security key app, and then you reinstall it, boom, and there you go. Yeah, somebody just said that YouTube ad just came on. There's not much I can do about YouTube ads. Even if I don't monetize my videos, YouTube will run ads anyway, and I just won't get any revenue from them, right? So all my videos are monetized, so I'll get some revenue back from the ads. But YouTube makes the decision about running ads, right? So sorry about that you got an ad. I apologize. I know it's irritating. All right, so we're in. So now we can, I think we need an address. We're going to hit deposit here. We're going to say US Tether. And because if we look at this, whoops. If we look at my Tangent wallet, you will see that I have some US Tether in here, but it is Tron based. It is Tron-based Tether. A lot of Europeans and Asians used Tron-based Tether because it's much cheaper than Ethereum-based Tether. It's not as big here in the U.S., but I get, some transfers from U.S. Tron-based Tether because it's cheaper for them. So, but that's okay. I will say that I would like to send that Tron-based Tether, and I want to send it to my Kraken account in Tron-based format, right? There's my Tron address, right? And I'm going to hit the little icon in the top here that turns it into a camera. We'll scan that address. There's the address of Kraken. And then I'll go ahead and send it all. It's $80 worth of Tether. And then I'm going to hit send. And I will need to put the card to the back of the phone. I got to look at it first. And there it goes. All right. While we're at it, why don't we do the ring? I don't know what happened to my icons, but they just disappeared. Right, the Tron Tether went out. Let's look at this other wallet. There's some Bitcoin in there. Let's send this Bitcoin using the ring. This is the ring-based wallet, although you wouldn't know it by just looking at it, but it is. So let's say that I want to drop some Bitcoin in here on the Bitcoin network. And there's the QR code. So let's do it this way. Let's hit Bitcoin. Let's hit send. We'll do the same thing. We'll just hit that little icon in the top right. We'll open up the camera. Hit scan that QR code, lickety split. I'll hit next. Let's go ahead and send it all. What the heck? Let's hit next. Oops, I don't have this card on me. Oh, no, I do. What am I saying? We're going to do the ring, right? We got the ring, right? This tangent ring. So I'm going to need to hold it to the back of the phone like this. I don't think we can do it with it on my finger, right? Someone asked me, hey, can you do that? I'm like, no, I don't think so. But it's like, so if it's on my finger, will this work? Let's try it just to see what happens, right? So I'm going to hit next. All right, I'll hit send. All right, once the ring. No, it does not read the ring unless it's off your finger. Well, that's kind of weird, but that's how it works. All right, so let's do it again. Let's hold the ring up. I think it has to be over here. There it goes. There it worked. All right. Tangent ring, pretty cool. I like it. It's a beautiful ring. Unfortunately, my wife gave me this ring for my birthday many years ago, and she noticed it right away when I came to the dinner table when I had the tangent ring on instead of this ring. She's like, what'd you do with that ring I gave you? So I'm not going to wear the tangent ring all the time, but what the heck, right? But still, I like that tangent ring. It's pretty cool. A lot of fun. So we did that. Oh, you submitted some more selfies. Yeah, Kraken. Well, I mean, I haven't had much trouble with Kraken as far as verification. I verified myself on Kraken many years ago. I don't remember when I first opened the Kraken account, but it had to have been like 2018 or 19. Haven't had any trouble, but Uphold is constantly asking me to re-identify myself. I mean, I yell at Uphold. I'm like, dude, I just submitted all this for you guys 3 months ago, and here you are telling me that, they need more information, and it's always the same thing. So I don't know if it's, you can blame the company or blame the governments that are trying to regulate them. They're just trying to fly under the radar or, fulfill their obligations to the government and verify all their accounts, right? So I don't know. KYC is a pain, right? Back in the freewheeling days of 2017 and 18, you could open a crypto account with a username and a password, and that's all you needed. and you could buy and sell crypto like it was going out of style. I'm pretty sure my first Coinbase account, all they wanted was my username and password, and I could connect my bank account, and I could make purchases, and then I would transfer, like I'd buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, I would transfer that Bitcoin into my Binance account, which I could use back then, and then I would swap for whatever on Binance and make my withdrawal. I could, back and forth, crypto in and out. Nobody ever asked me for any ID. Then, now that's a thing of the past, right? I remember we could use KuCoin for quite a while to, get cryptos that we couldn't get on Coinbase. But then KuCoin blocked access to U.S. users. So really now all I'm working with is Kraken, Coinbase, Binance US, which I'm not that crazy about. And I forgot there was one more. Oh, Uphold, which I don't like Uphold either. Too many hoops you got to jump through. All right, so let's see what we got here. Did we get anything? Yeah, we got our Tether. Now, what I wanted to do with the Tether was to convert that to Ethereum on Base Network, and I think I can do that. So let's hit convert. Actually, you don't actually convert networks until you make your withdrawal. So if, say we want to do Ethereum, right, we don't choose our network when we make our trade, right? Like, okay, I want to trade all this Tether for Ethereum. They're going to charge me almost 80 cents. Now, a lot of people get all upset, but hey, this is just the cost of doing business, really. But yeah, it's somewhat egregious, right? We're at like $80 and we're having to pay almost $1 for our trading fee. But that's just, think of it in terms of, if you're going to buy some crypto and you got to incur some fees along the way, and then that crypto is a good investment long term, and then, you get life-changing wealth down the road, you're not going to worry about these little fees that these little mosquitoes that you encountered along the way. All right. Anyway, let's do that trade. All right, we got that. And then I want to put it in Rabby Wallet, which is basically my device, right? So here's my Rabby Wallet. We can look over here at the Ethereum, which there's not much Ethereum in here, but I would like to put it in the Base wallet if I can. I would like to withdraw my Ethereum from Kraken in Base format. I think they'll let me do that. Let's try. If they don't, they don't. But okay, so we want to make our withdrawal. Okay, yes, I know. And I would like to use Base Network, and it doesn't look like I can. Okay, I was thinking I could do this, but that's okay. We'll just do Ethereum. And the withdrawal address. Have I ever done? I don't think I have. No. All right, well, that's fine. We can add the address. So this is the address of my Rabby wallet that I'm using with my stacks. Let's just, I thought you could add one from here, but that's okay. Okay, let's paste it in there. All right. Are they going to let me do this? I guess not. All right. Only withdraw Ethereum to Ethereum address. Okay, I want to withdraw it all. Oh, manage address. There we go. Manage. Sorry. I have to click manage address. So now I'm going to add a new one. We'll call this one Rabby Stacks, so we know what we're dealing with. And then we'll paste in the address here. All right, and we'll hit withdrawal address, and then OK. They're going to shoot me an email. Not quite there yet. We already did that. We're waiting for one more. There it is. Confirm address. All right. And then we can go back here, and it should be in there now. Yeah, Rabby Stacks. There it is, 373. we're going to withdraw it all. Let's hit withdraw. The withdrawal fee is 0.00039 ETH. Let's take a look at that. Not going to be that much. All right. Okay, we'll just roll down here. Okay. That's $1. That's nothing to sneeze at. So, you know, we got hit with $1 trading fee, and then we got hit with $1 withdrawal fee. We won't count Tangem. I didn't trade for it in Tangem. All right, so let's go ahead and make our withdrawal. And we'll say withdraw. Looks good. Okay. All right, so that's good. And let's go back to our portfolio. It might take a while for the Bitcoin to come in. So we see show small balance. Yeah, I'm not sure how you get to see your Bitcoin if there's nothing in there. Kind of hard. I don't see where you search. I don't use Kraken enough. Isn't there a search bar here anywhere? Oh, is this it? Okay. All right, so let's go to Bitcoin. And do I have the account for my Bitcoin? Let's hit deposit. Okay, boom. So now we can see recent transactions. So I don't see an incoming transaction. That one was from last week, a few days ago, looks like, that I withdrew. So we're still waiting on the Bitcoin that I transferred using the Tangem ring. All right, so, but now shouldn't take too long for the Rabby wallet to get that Ethereum. Should actually, oh, sorry, it's regular Ethereum. Yeah, so it came in. And so we got some regular Ethereum. We can play around with the swap. Let me see what Brooklyn State of Mind is asking. Hey there, CryptoDad's. Good to have you. I look forward to the stream every week. William, thank you for being here. I have a question regarding Solana staking natively on Ledger Live. Many months ago, I can see withdrawable having dust accumulation, which I'm assuming are the MEV rewards. Nowadays, the total Solana balance doesn't add up correctly with the available balance tab plus delegated assets. I wonder where and how I can withdraw the dust amount which used to display before. Yeah, I hope you know what I'm referring to. I do know what you're referring to, but I don't stake Solana in Ledger Live. I don't really stake my Solana as it stands, but I will tell you that the Solana staking within Ledger Live is sketchy at best. The problem with Ledger Live staking is that every time there's an update that the guys over at Solana do an update, they also have to update their app functionality and update a new app in Ledger Live. So when you go over here to the My Ledger section, sometimes below this little graphic, they'll say app updates. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but periodically you need to make sure that your apps are updated, right? You got firmware updates, you have app updates, and then you also have your Ledger Live software updates. And the kids are playing with the dog upstairs. They love taunting him to get him to howl. So if you hear that, it's not a dog being tortured. It's just my kids playing with it. So a lot of people get confused in Ledger Live. They're worried about software updates. A software update for the Ledger Live software will show up when you're in your portfolio. It'll tell you that you need to quit Ledger Live and restart, and it'll automatically run the update installer. But in the My Ledger section, this is where you update the firmware on your device. This is basically the software that runs inside your device. That needs to be kept up to date. And in addition to those two things, periodically, the apps themselves need to be updated. So you might want to check to see if your Solana app needs to be updated. It might fix your staking issue. Now, whatever strangeness you're experiencing, as opposed to what you were experiencing before, if I read your question correctly, could be due to an app update where they've updated the functionality for whatever reason, and it's different from what you were expecting before. So I would suggest, if I hate to say this, but I very rarely, if you're going to stake, I don't really recommend using Ledger Live. There, I said it, right? It's iffy at best. I remember Cardano staking was always weird. Dot staking was always weird. Dot was especially egregious when it came to having a broken Ledger Live interface, because they were constantly updating their blockchain. Solana is probably a little more stable, but I still probably wouldn't recommend doing Solana staking in Ledger Live. I know. You have a ledger, you're storing it on a ledger, you want everything to be seamless, you want to be able to do it in Ledger. I totally get that. But there are better ways of staking your Solana. You could use a wallet like this, the Soulflare Wallet, which does a much better job of allowing you to stake your Solana. Like, they've got different validators. Well, actually, they only have one. You might even do better to find a website where you can do native staking, Solana staking. I don't know exactly where that would be. I don't do that much staking anymore. But yeah, Ledger Live staking is always kind of weird. So I can't give you any specific guidance on the particular issue that you're having with not seeing your dust, or being able to withdraw your dust or whatever. But I do know that I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know what the unbonding period for Sol is, if there is one. I think, if memory serves me correct, that the unstaking period for Sol is a few days, not 21 days like Cosmos, but a few days. So you might, if you're trying to withdraw dust rewards from Ledger Live, there may be an issue with them having to do an unstaking or a claim reward or whatever that takes a while, and it just doesn't work right in Ledger Live. That's kind of where we're at. But yeah, if you're serious about staking, you might want to look into something a little more robust. There are lots of, you can do it right in Solana on their website, and they will give you some guidance on doing it kind of natively as opposed to doing it in Ledger Live. And then you would need a third-party wallet. I don't know if they have a direct link here. It's like, I'm sorry, I haven't done this in a long time. So, but maybe just check, and then you would need to use a third-party wallet, most likely. Soulflare, I found to be one of the better ones. But directly in Soulflare, they're going to suggest their validator, of course, for staking. Where that's swap. I hit swap. I should have hit stake. Where are we here? I don't know what I did, but anyway. Oops. Yeah. Now I'm all, oh, you know what? Oh, here, stake. Pardon me. Yeah. So they just want you to use Soulflare. That might work out better for you. I don't know. Yeah. So, and then, you know, boom. It didn't work because I didn't have my Ledger connected. But you can set up your Ledger in Soulflare just like you can in, oh, it's 2 days for unstaking. Okay. All right. So I wish I could have covered that better. But I wanted to check Rabby, because Rabby said, where did they say this? In their latest release, which is version 0.92.92, they say added support for Ledger Clear signing. So Ledger, generally when you're using a DEX with a third-party wallet and you are using your Ledger to manage that, and you want to do a swap or a trade, or you want to, you know, provide liquidity, anything like that, the Ledger device does not have the ability to process all of the information in that smart contract. And so in order to be able to do it, in order to bypass the fact that Ledger can't handle that information, we do this thing called blind signing, which basically just means you're going to see some information, but you're not going to see a full breakdown of everything that's going on. You're just going to kind of have to trust the exchange that you're using, that it is, you know, but you have to enable blind signing for this thing to go through, for the transaction or the trade to actually go through. Your other choice is not doing anything, right? Not using the DEX, not doing trades, not doing all the fun stuff that the DEX offers you, right? So Ledger says blind signing is bad, and their solution is, hey, use clear signing. Well, clear signing is not supported across the industry, right? So in many cases, you have to do blind signing if you want to do anything. And so Ledger has updated their interface. So instead of allowing you to enable blind signing, they tell you, oh, they'll say, oh, you're about to do blind signing, you know, turn back now. If you know, they make it sound so scary that newcomers are scared away. So basically what you see on your device is, are you going to do blind signing, you know, proceed, or, you know, go back to safety? It makes it sound like you've clicked a bad link in a web page, you know. So Ledger makes blind signing sound really scary, but nobody really supports Ledger's clear signing. That's been the dilemma. Well, if Rabby is now supporting clear signing, I want to see what happens. So we're going to try and do a quick swap. I don't know what the heck I'm going to swap for, but we just dropped. I'll buy some Beam, even though, well, yeah, we'll just buy some Beam, all right, on the Ethereum network. So let's say we want to swap, and we want to swap for Beam. This is a good use case, right? 0.02, yeah, it's $50. All right, so let's do that. Now, I need to be in the Ethereum app. And I kind of want to show you what's going on the device where you can kind of see it. So this is what we're looking at on the device. All right, this is what we're looking at on the screen. Let's do the swap. I like the Rabby swap because it does aggregation. It checks for the best price on various DEXs. We'll do this. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. It's going to cost me $320. I'll live with that, right? Nothing is happening on the device at the moment. Let's hit sign with Ledger. It's telling me it's not connected. All right. Okay. Geez, always when I have company. All right. So I'm going to exit the app, and I'm going to go back into it again. And hopefully it'll kick in. It still says it's not plugged in. Okay. Let's try this from the get-go. Okay. I'm not going to quit the entire... All right. Yeah, it's just not cooperating with me, but that's okay. Let's see if we can figure this out. All right. All right. One more time. I'm just going to try. Whoops. No. Let's do send. Max. Whatever. Okay. No, I don't want to do max. 0.01. Okay, whatever. Let's just do that. All right. Okay, where am I going to send it? I'll send it back to Coinbase. And then, is it going to tell me that my device is not? It says Ledger is not connected. Doggone it. All right, let me get back into the Ethereum app. Usually when I do that, it sees me, but it doesn't. All right, so let's try connecting it to a different USB port. Troubleshooting live here. Okay. All right, now it wants my PIN again. Okay, well, that's a good sign, I guess. All right, so let's put in the PIN. All right. Oh, okay. Let's go back into the Ethereum app. Come on, baby. Why aren't you working for me tonight? You're really embarrassing me in front of my friends. Connect. Plug in the Ledger. Open the Ethereum app, which I've done. Okay. This is really bizarre. I can't understand why this isn't working. I'm afraid, well, you know what? I'm just going to quit the browser and start it again. See if that works. Okay. Okay. I'm still with me? I hope so. All right, let's reload the browser. All right, I've got the, it's plugged in. Let's see if it works in MetaMask doesn't. See, Rabby is really cool in that it will tell you whether the device is connected or not. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do this swap on Ethereum for Beam. And we'll do 0.02 fetching quote. Okay, and I'm in the Ethereum app. Swap. Okay. Jeez, sometimes you just have to. Wallet supposedly, this transaction cannot be. I forgot. I'm muted again. What did I do? Ugh. Oh. Hello. 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 I don't know what to tell you. Okay. It wasn't muted. I don't know what happened. Must have been because I was playing around with my USB ports. Okay, 40 seconds. Okay. All right. Well, I wasn't making any progress anyway. Okay. Okay. Well, I was making progress actually. I got it to work, but the idea of this whole thing was that it was going to use clear signing, which it apparently is not. So let's go to settings. Okay. It tells me I have to enable blind signing here, which is odd. The Ledger Nano X no longer has this setting. Maybe it only works with a Ledger Nano X. I don't know. But there's no clear signing option here. So anyway, I'll go ahead and enable blind signing. All right. We'll go back here. So I don't know in what specific instances the supposed clear signing support that Rabby has for the Ledger kicks in, but apparently not in this situation. All right, let's try this one more time. Telling me to sign with Ledger, right? And I'm still getting the Ledger telling me, oops, you're about to blind sign. So back to safety, which most people would be like, oh my God, I'm doing something dangerous. I'm afraid, so I'm not going to do it, right? Ledger makes you fear, you know, what you're doing. But anyway, let's just do this anyway. So we hit continue. I got to review it. This way. All right, so it's giving me a lot of information, but apparently I'm still blind signing, right? So let's hit this. And we've just managed to finish that up after all that. Yeah, but I did not see anything indicating that I was using clear signing. Now, let's let this finish. Let's do a quick send. But the thing is I can't remember whether I had to use blind signing when I was doing a transfer. Some wallets, even when you're trying to do a transfer, will tell you that you're about to do blind signing. MetaMask only rejected trades without blind signing enabled, but you could transfer all day long. So apparently doing transfers wasn't an issue that blind signing came into. But I kind of noticed that Rabby sometimes, even when you do a transfer, it would say, hey, you got a blind sign. Sorry about losing you for... I'm still waiting for this trade to go through. I don't know if it's going to go through or not. Yeah. So, yeah, I would like to let that finish, but it's taking a lot longer than I thought. Anywho. Yeah, so I couldn't figure out how to... what changed in Rabby that made clear signing an issue or an option, right? Because I don't see it, right? I tried to do this swap and it required blind signing. I had to enable blind signing for it to happen. So yeah, and what bothers me about it is this is all the information I can find, which is added support for Ledger clear signing. Okay, how, where, why, when? You know, well, give me an example. No, you just have this little cryptic, you know, sentence in your latest release that says that Rabby now supports Ledger clear signing. Where, when, how? Because obviously not when we're doing swaps, right? Let's go back here. Am I still waiting? Yeah, I'm still waiting for this stupid thing to go through. It's what happens when you're doing it live, but that's okay. Let's go back and let's see. Did I miss anything? Were there any questions? Okay. Sorry about the mic. It wasn't muted. I mean, you couldn't hear me. I get that. But the mic did not have an X on it. And I didn't have to unmute it I started panicking. And apparently you guys could hear me again. So I don't know what happened. It's weird. No burning questions. Let's see. What are we when it took? We talked about replacing old devices. Did we? No, I don't think we did. I was going to do a restore for you guys tonight, but we're past the 7 mark. But I do want to talk about this real quick. Let's go over to this camera. There's a better scene. Whoops. Okay. Let's do that. It's still kind of tilted. So regarding your Ledger device, right? Now, a lot of people think that their crypto is stored in this device. It's not. Your cryptocurrency is stored on the blockchain. And then a lot of people think that their crypto is stored somehow in Ledger Live on their computer. It is not. Your crypto is stored on the blockchain. Think of your crypto as your online accounts. All right. So you can relate to this a little better. You might have a Instagram account. And in your Instagram account, you've got a whole bunch of assets, like all these pictures and all these things you've posted. Those are stored in the cloud, and you get that, right? You can't get into... No one thinks that their Instagram photos are on their phone because they have to physically upload them from their phone to their Instagram. So you all get that, right? You get that all of your posts and your pictures on Facebook are stored on Facebook servers, right? And you get that your resume and all your whatever stuff is stored in LinkedIn on the cloud, right? Well, you have a computer that gives you access to all of that. Let's not talk about the phone for the minute. Let's talk about the computer. You got a computer that gives you access to that, and then it crashes or it burns or it dies or whatever, and you go and you buy a brand new computer. Well, you understand that you need a new computer to give you access to all of those cloud-based assets. That's what crypto is, right? Your device is simply a key that gives you access to all of your cloud-based crypto storage. But we don't call crypto cloud-based. We call it blockchain-based. But it's similar, right? So our crypto is stored on the blockchain, not locally. Think of it as cloud-based storage, although it's different, right? It's blockchain. Blockchains are kind of a ledger that run in different places. We won't go into that too much. Just think of it as not here. So you have a device that can give you access to that because it has special keys that are stored on here. So, but people get so hung up on their device, right? They look at their device, and I've had people that have asked me about their Ledger Nano S's. I don't think I have one. Yeah, I've got an old Ledger Nano S here. Now, the Ledger Nano S is no longer on sale, right? They don't make them anymore. You can't buy them anymore. But I got a lot of people that are still using them, and maybe they bought them in 2018, and the screen goes out. And so it gets dim, they can't read it, so they go and they buy a screen replacement kit. I have no idea how much those cost. I would hope that they're like 10 or 20 bucks. And then they go through this convoluted instructions on how to crack open their device and replace their screen. And all this time, let's just assume they've got 20 grand worth of crypto out there on their blockchain, and they're too cheap to spend $79 on a brand new device. Instead, they're ordering replacement screen kits and cracking open their device. I don't know why, the device really doesn't matter. And then I had another, just a wonderful gentleman. He asked me, well, what do I do now? The button on my Ledger Nano X is an old one is stuck down. What do I do? And I said, well, he said he had already replaced his screen once.
or twice or something. And I said, well, I mean, maybe if you break it apart like you did before, you can get the button back up again. But realistically, just buy a Ledger Nano S Plus. It is the replacement for the Ledger Nano S. It has a bunch more storage. And it's pretty much the same price that you paid for your original device. And if you got, more than $5,000 worth of crypto, it's worth it, right? So I have this Ledger Nano X, and it's kind of coming apart. And now this Ledger Nano X has served me well. I've never had any battery issues with it or anything like that. And it's still pretty bright. I'm not worried about it too much. But, I'm like, the device isn't important. If you have your seed phrase, and this is a mock seed phrase, so don't run out and try to restore it onto one of your wallets because it's empty, unless someone was stupid enough to put money in there. Possibly wasn't me. This is a mock seed phrase. But if you have a seed phrase, all you need to do is get a brand new device. Right? Go get yourself a brand new Ledger Nano X, if that's what you want, or better yet, get yourself a Ledger Flex, which is much easier to use, much better, cooler device, or your Ledger Stacks, something like that. But if you're on a budget or whatever, and that $5,000 worth of crypto is all you own in the world, and you got bills to pay, and you can't afford to spend a couple $100 on a new device. Well, actually, I think the Ledger Nano X is still, it's over 100. But anyway, for me, I got a brand new device. Open it up. Restore from this seed phrase. Same seed phrase as this guy. So all of the same wallets are now accessible. Remember, I told you, all your crypto's out there on the blockchain. It's cloud-based storage. Just like if you get a brand new computer or you get a brand new phone, you understand that all you have to do is reconnect to your, I can't think of the name, Instagram account to gain access to all those photos that you had out there. You understand that. The same with your crypto. Your crypto is out there floating around on the blockchain, right? This device is just a tool. And if it's getting old, if it's getting shabby, if it's falling apart, if the buttons don't work anymore, if the screen is too dim, if the battery doesn't work anymore, why agonize over it? Why go on forums and say, what's the deal with the battery? Has anybody ever had this happen to them before? I can't get my thing to work. It always runs out of battery. I'm like, get a new device. For Pete's sake. I'm begging you. I don't, you don't have to use one of my links if you don't want to. I really don't care. I do care that you're, depending on a junky old device that's not working anymore to access your crypto. And when you really need access to your crypto, your old device might fail at the worst possible time. So get yourself a brand new, reliable device. Doesn't have to be a Ledger. You can get a Trezor, whatever you want, right? But don't limp along with an old hardware device that is not reliable for you, right? Are you gonna, your 16-year-old daughter is just learning how to drive. Are you gonna buy her an old junker with bald tires? I don't think so, right? Things you care about, your crypto. That is your investment in the future. That could be your generational wealth. Are you going to trust it to a shoddy piece of plastic that you've had for 6 years and is already worn out and sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't work? And you're all, oh my God, my crypto, and this thing isn't going to work right when I need it. Well, get a new device. That's what the seed phrase is for. I hope I've made myself clear. Oh, this is going to be funny. Yeah. Am I? Oh, I'm not. Please tell me I wasn't muted during all of that. Okay. All right. So there's the rant. Please get a new device and stop obsessing over your old device that's not performing well anymore. and cursing Ledger and cursing life that, your battery doesn't work right, get you a new device. The gentleman that I dealt with even said, Ledger told me I should get it replaced. And I was like, listen to him. I get it. I got to spend money. I hate spending money. Me too. I don't like spending money if I don't have to. But when it comes to my crypto and my 16-year-old daughter, you can betcha I'm going to spend a couple of $1,000 more on the car that for her that's reliable and it's got, thick rubber on the tires. I'm not going to skimp, 2,000, to save myself $2,000 and get her the old, clunker with bald tires, right? Same with my crypto, right? I have generational wealth that I'm storing using my device. I'm not going to rely on this junky old piece of plastic that's wearing out when I might need to make a transfer. So anyway, don't think of the device as your crypto. We know it's not, right? Your crypto's in the cloud. You just need a proper device to manage it. So my advice, get a new device. Doesn't have to be, they don't sell Ledger Nano S anymore. But, you can get yourself a Ledger Nano S Plus. If, you're dealing with a Trezor, maybe get another Trezor, right? I don't really recommend switching boats between hardware devices. If you have a Ledger seed phrase, don't migrate it in. I know I've done some videos on how to do this, but it's problematic and idiosyncratic in a couple of different ways that I'm not going to get into at the moment. But kind of, if you've got a brand of hardware device with a seed phrase, stick with that brand, right? And this seed phrase will work with any Ledger device. But, if you've got an old Trezor 1 with an old seed phrase and it's dying on you, get yourself a brand new Trezor Safe 5, or whatever crypto wallet you're using, right? I'm not trying to tell you gotta buy Ledger. I'm just saying, if you're using an old, junked out, worn out Ledger, get yourself a new one. It's in your best interest. All right, so sorry about that. I thought maybe that I had somehow muted during my rant there. Let's see, where are we at here? I'm going to go over to stream ending. Yes, I love Tangem. You saw me use Tangem tonight a couple of times. Maybe check go back to the beginning of the stream. But we did a demo using this awesome Tangem ring, which is really cool. And then I used my Tangem card to do a transfer. I love Tangem. It's a great wallet. It's kind of an apples to orange things when it comes to the Ledger device. I use both, right? Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I got to choose one or the other, right? I only want one crypto wallet, so I got to make the decision, which one do I want? I personally think that the Tangem system and the Ledger system are both great, but they both, for me, have different use cases, so I use both, right? So, and someone asked me, hey, can you do a video on, like a review of which is better, Tangem or Ledger? Well, that's not the way I look at it, but I'll probably will do a comparison video going over, the use case for each and the advantages and disadvantages of each in those situations. Like for newcomers, Tangem is great, really easy to use. Anyway, I digress. I want to thank you guys for being here. Sorry about the mute midstream. Hopefully it didn't last too long. And I want to thank Kenny, as always, for being here. I appreciate everything you do, Kenny, with the news and the alerts, the loud alerts, the game over alerts whenever I mute my mic. So, yeah, I think I muted the mic once or twice tonight. I apologize for that. Thank you so much, Joseph, for your generous donation. Thank you, Dusted in Shadow, for gifting memberships. Thank you, Emmanuel. Asked me about Lightning. No, I haven't played with Lightning much. The problem with Lightning is it's only useful once you move some Bitcoin into a Lightning channel. And I'm usually kind of more, I'd rather keep my Bitcoin on the regular Bitcoin chain. So I haven't played with Lightning much, but it is something to think about. But it's sort of it's an interface on top of traditional Bitcoin blockchain. So in my mind, it's not real Bitcoin, but I'm just an old timer anyway. But if I should play with it more, faster, cheaper, all that good stuff. And you are using Bitcoin. Thank you, Dan, so much for doing your moderating tonight. I appreciate that. As always, good to have you here. And I didn't see JDO tonight, but thank you, JDO, for everything you do. I hope you're feeling better. I know you're recovering from back surgery. As far as those ads go, I apologize for the ads. I guess, as Dan pointed out, we are getting closer to the election. So there's a lot of big money being poured into political ads on YouTube and everywhere else. I remember my son complaining about political ads in 2020 when he was on his YouTube channel. But that's one of the solutions, and I hate to say this, but one of the solutions for that is YouTube Premium. I pay, I think it's like $18.99 or whatever it is now for YouTube Premium, and for a family plan, and I think I can add up to 5 accounts to sign into that account. So that there are no ads on YouTube. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff on YouTube like YouTube TV and all that junk, but I just subscribe to YouTube Premium, which gives me an ad-free YouTube experience. And I need it because I'm on YouTube a lot, doing research, recording videos, watching my own videos, and doing that kind of stuff. So I really don't want ads coming at me. So think about it. I think it's worth it. Personally, I think it's worth, YouTube Premium is worth it for my kids. I don't want my kids to grow up being bombarded by cereal and toy commercials and stuff. So all of our TV is streaming. We have no ads on our TV, and I've configured everybody's YouTube accounts for YouTube Premium, so no one gets ads on YouTube. I mean, there's still a lot of like narrative pushing, within YouTube channels and that kind of stuff. But I grew up on TV ads, and I would prefer that my kids grew up ad-free as far as it is in my power. Yeah, so YouTube Premium might be something you want to think about if you're on YouTube a lot, right? No ads on YouTube. You have to pay for it, but it's an improvement. Anyway, we'll be here again next week, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. You might see me do something seamless and smooth. You might see me have some epic fails, but there's always fun. I want to thank you guys again. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Have a good week, everybody. And keep an eye out. I should be posting some more videos this week as well.